from an outside perspective, because it just seems so interesting how they're the highest in people in population, so you must come across them.
Well, I mean, I will say it was satisfying making that chicken coop. It was satisfying in the end, having made it, I guess. The process of making it with this ISFJ plane, you missed a spot, was very emotionally challenging. But yeah. So, introverted feeling is the cognitive function that causes you to make this face.
Oh my gosh! Oh my, that looks almost happy. Oh my, what? You make good anime faces.
Well, that's the face I make to the cat when I'm feeling very, very moist with her. I'll say, "Oh, my noble majesty."
Yes, you
oh.
You do scrunch up your face.
Oh, you're
astonishing.
You're a beauty again. That's painful FI face.
Is that overwhelming?
Yes. See, the thing is, FI, when you feel something strongly enough, it starts to become painful. Winston's mom, did you get a new title? No, that's why she's using emojis, Zaylen Black. She must not have gotten a new keyboard yet. She must not have.
Can she not use it on her phone? YouTube?
I think she probably just doesn't use her phone. Oh. Like me, if I had a broken keyboard, I would be in the same situation here. I just would be trying to make it work until I got a new one.
I'm still like on my phone all the time.
You know how songs link to specific things, so that anytime somebody says, sometimes I feel, and pauses, you're going to go, like I don't have a partner. You know, there's things like that. Well, broken keyboard makes me go, I saw a broken keyboard. I bought a broken. I saw a broken keyboard. I brought a broken keyboard. You know, in that song, Thrift Shop.
Oh yeah.
That's what the words "broken keyboard" make me think that.
I didn't know it was in there.
They had a broken keyboard. I bought a broken keyboard.
That's easy enough.
Then I bought a kneeboard. You're saying your SE is better than your SI? Kapow, take that. Sounds like you're using your SI pretty effectively now. Space Cat, pretty effective.
Hey, Space Cat? I haven't seen Space Cat, I feel like, in a bit.
Space Cat has gotten rid of the felicitas in front of it. It used to be Felicitas, Space Cat.
Yes.
She got rid of it because I struggled saying it so much.
It is a little bit difficult.
Yes. She says, hi, Rachel.
Hello.
You need a new Chromebook, huh? I see. Or you could get a USB connectable keyboard like I have here. You'll note this is not physically attached to my laptop. It uses the magic of remote power or something.
Yeah.
The magic of rays. It uses the magic of rays.
It's so much nicer working on projects, like having that on the screen too.
It is.
I was thinking about how typing is so much nicer on like desktop computer.
A full-size keyboard.
Yeah.
Yes. So another thought I had, which was the competing title for this live stream, was Homointuitive and Heterointuitive. You know, you have Homointuitive and Heterointuitive relationships in life. If I were hanging out with an INTP, that's a Homointuitive relationship. If I'm hanging out with an INFJ, that's a Heterointuitive relationship. because you got the opposite kind of intuition, right?
Oh.
Well, I think that heterointuitive relationships are best for intuitive heterosexuals. So if you're heterosexual, then you're going to want to get with a person of the opposite intuition type, who's the opposite sex as well. But if you're a homosexual, you'll get the opposite intuition type, but the same sex, you see. So you can be homosexual and heterointuitive. I think everybody's basically naturally heterointuitive. So if they're intuitive, if they're not intuitive, not necessarily.
Yeah, I feel like sensors can get along with sensors. That's it. There's not really. Well, that's not entirely true because.
I mean, the thing is, what I'm saying is that if you're an ENFP, you should get with an INTJ, not with an ENTP or an INFP or an INTP. Because if you get the same kind of intuition, it has this kind of siblingish quality that makes you not find them very alluring in a romantic fashion. So what I'm saying is that romantic relationships should, I guess, to the extent that they should take advantage of the natural appeal and mechanics of heteroness by having the two things both represented in the couple, in I and in E.
So especially for intuitives.
Yeah. Now, for sensors, I think it may be the case that their S's need to line up instead of their N's, maybe SI versus SE or something.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about Delilah and your dad, and it doesn't always match up. There are times, like your dad thought that Delilah was talking more.
Right. Well, they're heterointuitive and Hetron Sensing.
So that's why.
Whereas you and Delilah are home intuitive, and me and Delilah are heterointuitive and Hetron Sensing. But the thing is, I suspect that it's the case for sensors as well, that they should be Hetron Sensing. So, for example, ISFJ should get with ESTP. They're going to still be heterointuitive as well. Heterointuitive and Hetron Sensing is the same thing. If you're heterointuitive, you're Hetron Sensing. So,
okay, so they'll get along.
They'll get along better because their sensings go in like this instead of like this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They go together like this instead of like this. No, we're not bashing FI. We're loving FI. We're just pointing out that when FI gets very strong, it makes you have painful faces. Okay?
It does.
So when I'm feeling strongly towards Rachel.
Oh my gosh.
Because I love you so much. Exactly.
Oh my gosh. I have to show you.
Like that. That's the face that you make when you have a lot of FI.
I'll show you a really good picture of what you're explaining. It's like a meme.
The FE equivalent of that is the North Korean lady who's just so extremely happy to see Kim Jong Un. You ever seen that GIF?
No.
Of the North Korean lady who's super happy to see Kim Jong Un. Careful! Don't throw your feet away.
I thought the table was over there. FI makes you go like that.
Kim Kardashian's crying faces.
Yeah, she's known for her terrible cries because she has so when you have Botox, you can't really move all of your muscles the same way. So when she cries, her face is kind of screwed up.
Lady clapping Kim Jong Un gift. I want to find this gift. It's like Kim Jong Un adoring Kim Jong Un GIF. Kim Jong Un enters to adoring applauding Kim Jong Un, maybe?
My special kit.
I want to find this. I've seen it before.
Oh, kitty pageant winner. How lovely it is. Yeah, I'm looking for This is my travel.
Adoring North Korean lady Kim Jong Un. It's like this. Oh, they're so happy to see him. But it's this lady who's going like, just an absolute ecstasy to see Kim Jong Un. Still can't find it, but there's a great GIF. I'll find it at some point. Anywho, okay, so I got a TI test for you. How many pounds of cheese does it take to make a man happy? The answer, trick question. There are literally not enough pounds of cheese.
Oh.
Infinite is the answer.
So that would make your FI happy then.
Yeah.
I was gonna say baby loaf.
A baby loaf makes me happy. I gotta say, we need to go get another baby loaf.
That was so good. That cheese is really good. And I have to say, some cheddar cheeses are a little bit too sharp, but that brand is very good.
That's the color to get too, is that dark orange one. There's one that's sharper than that we didn't get.
I mean, I'm not opposed to trying.
No, that's the best one. They have sharp, which is to not sharpen out. They have extra sharp, which we got, and then they've got black label extra sharp, which is too sharp.
No.
So we got the perfect one. If he were fat, better not eat that much cheese. Well, I'm not very chubby. I have a little bit of, I guess you call, what do you call these? Love handles.
Aww.
We got a little bit of love handles here.
You're so cute.
Hi, 16
Proud of them.
playlists.
Are you happy about them?
Hmm?
Are you happy about your love handles?
Oh yeah, I like it when I'm a little bit chubbier and a little less skinny, you know. Is it the case that you have exactly 16 playlists? 16 playlists? I like your name. It's a great name.
It is, and I like the number.
16 playlists.
Are you an INFJ?
That's a great name. That's why you earned that burp. You have a pillow on your tummy? Well, that must make it a comfortable place to lie your head. Probably not for you though. You have to really be contorting yourself to lie your head on your own belly. Space Cat thinks Ham Bone has a beer belly. Have you ever seen Ham Bone, Space Cat? Why would you think Space Cat Ham Bone has a beer belly if you've never even seen him? What's Rachel's Enneagram type? Is she a 2? No,
That's so
she's a
funny.
7.
I'm looking at my Enneagram type right now. The 147 type. They say triple frustration. No wonder it comes out the way it does.
Triple frustration.
Yeah.
Nice.
You're like, yeah.
Is Eric Cartman ENTP? Probably. Yeah, probably he is. He's such a douche. No, she's a sexual 7. A very sexual 7.
Thanks, baby.
You think he's an ENTJ? Cartman? 16
You could
point
argue does that too.
I could see that. I could see that.
Because he can start businesses and stuff.
Right, and his third slot FE isn't very careful for third slot. So yeah, maybe he is an ENTJ.
What's his mom? ISFJ? ESFJ.
Cartman's mom?
Yeah. She's always letting him get away with.
Right.
Oopsie. You go, Oopsie.
I think she's an ENFJ.
Oh.
That's why
Yeah, she sleeps with all the teachers and stuff.
she's always sleeping with everybody.
That's so funny.
Probably Cartman doesn't know who his dad is.
That's right.
Broccoli Todd's going ESFJ. How do you check out 16 Playlist channel from here? Well, probably what I would suggest, Geiger, Lord of the Promiscuous, any tool, the Eternal Noob, is that you go to YouTube search in a separate tab and type into it 16 Playlists. And then what I want you to do is adjust the search variables within the search bar of YouTube to specify channels and not videos. That's just belly skin, Eric. Love handles, when present, are on the sides of the lower abdomen just above the hips. Oh.
Well, you can call it a love handle because that's probably where you gain yours.
Is Rachel gone for good? I mean, well, she probably will eventually get up from that chair and move, I would guess.
Would you like me to be?
Well, yeah, Notion Slave, would you like Rachel to be gone for good? No, she's here for good.
You know, I had a moment alone where I was like, oh my gosh, I'm here. I'm clear.
You don't want any more bears.
Mm-mm. Curve surfer. You're the curve surfer, right?
I'm 784.
Yes, curve surfer. So I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Your dad has alluded to me, and you have alluded to me, you have surfed. Do you still surf?
No, I haven't surfed in a long time.
Is it difficult? It looks difficult.
I was never good at it at all. So the thing is,
I didn't know if it was just something that like you did for fun with friends.
no, I sorry, got distracted by the mirror.
Oh, that's okay.
That's what's going on when I'm not answering you.
That's okay.
It was something I did when I had a wetsuit, basically. When I was in college and I grew weed and I sold weed and made a lot of money off of that. And one of the things,
gosh, you were that kid.
one of the things I did in college with the money that I made from growing weed was I bought myself a custom made wetsuit, which I guess I wasn't all the way grown yet, because within a few years of that, I mean, I wore it into my 20s, but nowadays it wouldn't fit me. And anyway, it got tore up after a few years somewhat. And then when I stopped having a working wetsuit, that's when I stopped surfing ever. Because you need a wetsuit, really, to surf. So, but yeah, I surfed with Dave Porter. When I was surfing, that was the time when Dave Porter initiated the saying that I still use to this day. He and I were both out at Huntington Beach. We were waiting for waves. We were sitting there on our surfboards, and I sneezed a few times. And Dave Porter said, "Big sneezes for little Eric." And I've been saying that expression ever since.
It's so sweet.
Eric, says Swift Eagle. What? What do you want? Devilman Crybaby was probably the worst of the Devilman series. Oh, I see. You're saying the strong and weak video is a nice touch. Thanks, Swift Eagle. I was thinking another good thing to do would just be, I was thinking of the mistyped celebrities thing, but also an easy one to do would just be go through any given series and type each of the characters in the series by note. I could do Naruto, I could do South Park,
You could do like
I could do Simpsons,
Disney characters.
Disney characters. Yeah, sure. I could do that stuff easy squeezy. It's the kind of thing that I used to go like, yeah, but you can't win those arguments. Who cares if you can win those arguments? People like to watch that shit.
So much. Like they're all over the boards.
Yeah.
It's fun, you know? I find myself doing it not even knowing.
So anyway, I worked earlier with Jeffrey and told him, okay, that's enough. I don't want to do this anymore until August, till the new topic comes out. I don't want to play teacher. What are my thoughts on FI? I mean, it's the juiciest of the juice. It's just FI is like FI is like it's like dry ice, okay? It's super cold, but before you know it, it just disappeared, and you never have any idea where it had gone and where it was.
Sometimes I feel it sometimes in my body. Like if I'm crying a lot.
Oh yeah, well see that's what I'm saying. Oh yeah, afterwards, sure. If you feel good, it always feels good after you cry. After you cry, it always feels like you've been in a big rainstorm and the world smells clean again. You know.
I physically feel that I have been crying though.
I feel that too when that happens. But the thing is, what I'm saying is, once your emotion is past, then it's like it just disappeared. It's like, where did it go? You know?
Yeah.
You might still feel some residue in the body. Well, I know, like a lot of times when I'm feeling a strong emotion, then it'll convert into something called tiredness, and then I'll go lie down and need to sleep. I like 16 playlist description here. FI is the melted ice cream dripping down your hand, leaving you sticky and upset.
Or like with that, the kid gets the ice cream and takes the first lick and knocks the ice cream right off the cone. Oh my god, wait, oh my gosh. It's that whole like mime. Oh my gosh, the meme. I'm gonna find it.
FI is magnificent. I agree. It's a strong, it's kind of like smelling salts, right? Something that jolts you because it's so powerful, but you don't have it under your nose for very long. So it dissipates very quickly.
Wait, hold on. I want to look up.
It's kind of like the thing that prevents you from making
sorry, guys.
good decisions, I guess. The thing that prevents you from making good decisions. That's a good way to put it.
Can I look something up?
Of course, you have to go to a new tab. Let me open a new tab for you.
If you want to be in charge of the tabs.
There you go, Tabaroo. You can Google your heart out.
I want YouTube.
Oh, you want to be on YouTube?
Yeah.
Search. Okay, go ahead.
And then
I'll put it here for you. There you go.
Fine. But not fine. Dog. Oh, I'm so bad. Dog.
This one?
No, go down. Oh, I hate when they get rid of them.
Start typing that again. Go back, erase the vine part. This.
No, see. Yeah. Okay, they have like a mashup.
Here?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, go to that one. That's FI.
Okay.
For sure.
I'm going to mute this though, so I don't.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, for those of you who wish to know what we were just watching, this is a video all about FI. Can you push enter, please, Rachel?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, guys. I get a little closer.
Would you like to get very close?
Is that?
Right here, baby. Get very
It's
close.
warm for me.
FI lets you know when someone's picking on you. It's true. Bipolar must be exhausting. I think the same thing about FI tool. It must be exhausting. I think FI is only exhausting when I think about it or try to understand it or talk about it. When I
talk about it.
try to explain it at all, it's very confusing. And I go, well, but when I just feel it, like I've been feeling pretty happy lately. I've been laughing, doing a lot of laughs.
It's good.
You're emotionally exhausted today, sadly. Well, you know
Yeah.
why you're emotionally exhausted? Because you weren't available to go out with us earlier. That's why. That's going to emotionally exhaust anybody.
Do you think that when an FI polar person is exhausted, it's usually from like other people's like emotions or their own emotions, so they can carry on day-to-day life without necessarily like feeling those
Well, I mean, the thing
emotions?
is, what FI polar puts you at risk to is having your boundaries pressed upon a lot, you know, and not really knowing what your boundaries are.
True.
And so, and it also is a habitual failing to put yourself in other people's shoes. You're considered inconsiderate a lot. It's like, even no matter how good your FE is, you're inconsiderate because you didn't really think about how it was going to hurt that person's feelings. It's something that ENFPs are going to hear a lot, you know?
Thanks, Anga Jensen. We both got haircuts, and Eric cut mine, and
And she cut mine.
Mm-hmm.
We played reciprocating haircut.
We couldn't take it anymore.
Thanks, INFPHD. I appreciate the thumbnail. It was fantastic. It's not an internal moral compass. It is in some. Okay, it can be. We're eating dinner in about 10 minutes, a little less. You know, my FI is what prevented me from continuing to fish at Leg Lake because it hurt my feelings to catch turtles. So in that sense, you're right. It's a conscience. But the other thing is FI can justify all kinds of bad shit because something you find very precious is threatened.
True.
So in FI response, if you were here earlier and you saw the difficult to watch Pomona video, then what you saw is a lady coming up to me at the end using FI. The cop had just pushed me off the curb and silenced me and assaulted me for no reason. And this lady comes up and yells at me to shut up because the cops are just doing their job, ignoring the fact that the cops are tasing the living hell out of this guy. And her justification is, you know, there are kids in that house. Those kids in that house are not well served by the cops out front tasing the living hell out of this guy, you know?
Yeah.
So it's an illogical response. It's a totally emotional response that says, if kids are nearby, anything's okay. Just like the COVID thing. It's a totally emotional response.
I read that feelings are some of the things that come and go and that people look back on most at when they're like, oh shit, what did I do? They look at their emotions first because they realize that sometimes it doesn't make sense.
The other thing is, I'm pretty sure FI links to memory in some kind of fundamental way because of the example I've referenced before of the time that I went into 7-Eleven feeling worried about financial stuff, whether a check had cleared, whether this other thing was going to, whether basically I was going to overdraft. And then I went into 7-Eleven and I was thinking about other things. Then when I came out of 7-Eleven with my whatever I had gotten in 7-Eleven, the first thing I did was remember the feeling of worry. So it's like, and I was like, what am I worrying about again? And then I remembered what I was worrying about. So obviously the emotion persists past the intellectualization or below the intellectualization of it. And Cloud, you can be the leader of the FI revolution, okay?
I think what Dr. Perfect says, FI is good for you, but others around you may not think so because people want you to play along. It depends on who you're around, right? Because like some people are are
Oh, yeah.
better.
TI inferior is just as susceptible, maybe even more, Even TI third slot and sensors, I'm sure ISFJs are quite concerned about this nonsense. But the thing is, here's the deal with FI. What you're saying is right about the person who said they thought eating meat, Dr. Pepper, was it?
Dr.
Perfect. I thought eating meat at 8 years old because it just didn't feel right. Everyone around me would be here. FI is good for you. I want you to play along. Well, the thing is, there's two qualities here, which is authenticity to yourself. So if I were in a culture that expected me to go down and fish and just be okay with catching those turtles, that would be a problem, right? I disagree with that. That's why I'm in favor of individualism and why TI and FI are on the same team regarding that. TI and FI both favor the rights of the individual to do as they see fit. FE and TE both favor people being team players. So Rachel and I both being FE fairly strong, me third slot absolute value, and her the tool function. Mm-hmm. We both are accustomed to prioritizing being team players. But it is absolutely the case that you shouldn't be a team player when it involves crossing your own boundaries or giving too much of yourself or something like that. Right. And so something FE users always have to watch out for is crossing those authenticity lines. FI polar, most of all, I have to, the way I've gone about having a clarity about it is that it involves a lot of intellectualization. I've got a very TI strict frame as to what I consider negative moral obligation. I'm a moralist. By having the meta frame of being a moralist, it allows me to not be subject to some of the risks that go along with FI polar. We're going to have to wrap this up in just a minute or two. Yeah. But I'm going to smoke the rest of the cigarette for you.
FI memories. I have most of my FI memories from when I was 15. When I was 15 and my first boyfriend broke up with me. I honestly can go back into that state of mind where I was just so sad. Like playing Sarah McLachlan in the dark under the covers, saying, "No, Mom, I'm not going to eat dinner tonight. I'm not going to school." Yeah, so that's the last time I FI memories. Like I cringe every time I'm on here and I'm going off on Eric or something.
That's an FE memory.
Oh.
That's called the shame shivers. It's the thing that what's his name advocated against. Don't be like me, he said. What's his name? The guy who was on 2.5 Men?
Oh, I don't know.
No, wait. He's famous. You know who I'm talking about.
Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Charlie Sheen said, the worst thing is having a bunch of shame shivers. When you remember something you did where you embarrassed yourself and you feel ashamed of yourself and go, the shame shivers. It's a great coining of a term. I've never heard it before. I think he came up with it, but it's like...
yeah.
That's an FE thing. It's not an FI thing. Anyway, we got to go because it's 5:59 and we're having dinner with Dad at 6 o'clock. Goodbye. Until later. Goodbye. Countess, you make me constantly shake my head at you like this.